The word photography comes from the Greek words for writing with light. You can only photograph something with some type of light. And we are used to having the sun as our source, and the most practiced among us are quite comfortable with flash bulbs, reflectors, diffusers, a set of tools that we use to wrestle with light. It's challenging enough in a studio, but let's add a couple factors. Let's put the studio about 2 miles away from where wheels can go, and let's eliminate the sun. Are you still with me? This will require some creativity. Let's figure it out. Welcome back, friends and neighbors, to the luminous journey. Today we're exploring the equipment I use to bring the beauty out of darkness. Obviously, this is a constantly evolving kit, and I started with things like a cell phone light, cigarette lighter, or whatever I could find that would produce light and color. All you need to get started is any camera that has a bulb mode. That's the mode that allows you to keep the shutter open as long as you want. And the second thing you want is a tripod, a very sturdy one. And the last thing is the obvious one, anything that makes light. Of course, like most things, as you get deeper into it, you'll want to expand your toolkit and upgrade those tools to a higher standard, and that's completely understandable. But for today, let's get into the bag and find out how far along I have come. First things first, what sort of bag is this? The criteria I have are pretty simple. It has to have tons of pockets to put all these little things that I carry, and it has to be comfortable enough for a long hike. I started with a tool bag, something like a handyman would carry, and there were tons of pockets, but the rigid button was vicious on the lower back. So I found this bag from an Army Navy surplus store. This was actually originally designed for medics to carry all their small life-saving equipment. So there are all kinds of little loops and pockets to keep everything in. It's not the most comfortable bag for hiking, but it's acceptable and it's the best one I found in the market. So let's dig into this thing even further. The first thing I come to are the flashlights. By flashlights, I mean the ones that you put around your head, so they're headlamps. And I have 2 of those right here. We use them all the time we're out. But let me say this. So some of our shoots are near a road, and that's fine. But many are a bit remote, and hiking into remote places isn't a big issue. It's usually before sunset, but hiking out of those places can be really sketchy because it's really dark, and you need something like this. And not only that, you need a light source. What I mean is that you want to have free range of motion in your body in case you trip over, and you have to be quick to grab onto something so you don't fall. Not to freak you out, but these guys are great to give you that kind of freedom and security. So this one's a pretty basic headlamp. It's the first one I got. It has brightness settings and it's reasonably bright. The biggest annoyance is that the light on the back, which if you're using in a shot, it leaves a streak. So for me, this is only good for the hike. The other one is a pretty bright one, and this is relatively newer. I think it claims 60,000 lumens, although probably a stretch. It's zoomable, and you can get a wider or tighter beam. It has 3 brightness levels, and the light on the back is switchable, so you can actually use it in a shot if you need a big light on a background element. For the handheld lights, my go-to are these small adjustable lights. They're not particularly bright, only a few hundred lumens, but they are zoomable and they're super easy to carry around in a pocket. This one is the Lumens Shooter, which also has 4 colors you can switch through. I most often use these for like little extra touches on the foreground or side of the shot. They also work well with my light painting brushes, which I'm going to show you later. Another light that I really like is this little guy. It's Chicago Products RPL1. I don't know how they come up with these names, but it's really quite bright and the light is infinitely adjustable. It's also rechargeable, which is great. And as a bonus, it's tiny, super portable. As you see, I mean, anything that saves weight is a well-loved addition. That brings me to the next light, which is a Bowtac A4. It's 2000 lumens and really throws a bright beam quite far. It's about the lightest throw it type light I could find without breaking the bank. I also carried these video lights with me. This one is Ulanzi and Pilot Fly Atom Cube R+1, which is my favorite one. With these I get adjustable brightness and also adjustable wavelength on the light, so I can do any warmth or color I need. And these are for mostly like foreground and background when I need a broad light to change a color or enhance the texture. So next thing is the universal connector. They're not sponsored, but lightpaintingbrushes.com is becoming one of my go-to websites when I'm expanding my toolkit and when I'm looking for additional tools, like these ones. So here's how it works. Grab our universal connector and a flashlight. So I'm gonna grab Lumen's shooter I showed you a moment ago. So basically this guy slides over of our flashlight and then it gives place to screw in these fun attachments. So, and now we're gonna pick, so do I want a light pen or do I want these translucent light lighters? Okay, although I unpack this, I want to try this one. So let's see. Screw it in. That's it. That's simple. So when the lights are out, you can simply press the button on your flashlight and voila, you can start light painting. Now, I also use colored gels, lighting filters, and they are in this little purse thing. There are like several colors that I use. These are like my plan B in case I forget these somewhere. They're kind of imperfect because you have to use rubber band to attach it to your handheld light, but I still keep them with me. Then I've got several alternative little producing devices, like these laser pointers. I have a green and the red one. These can give some super cool effects at night. And the green one has these different heads that can give some different patterns. I am just surprised, like the things that I come up with. You have to check my photo that I took in Half Moon Bay, California, over the shore, flashing the light from top of a cliff. And the photo looked like there were northern lights. It's super cool. I mean, I didn't know I could come up with that. You should really try it. One of my favorite light tools doesn't fit in the bag, and that's the pixel stick. It comes in two pieces. You push it. And there are pixels in this. When you turn it on, light comes on, and you can make all kinds of stuff. You have to practice a little bit with this one. Obviously, I mean, it's not like just holding a handheld light. This needs some little expertise on a moderate level, I would say. But I make my portal images with this pixel stick, and I have a lot of portal images. That means I use this pixel stick almost all the time. You can also do super cool, neat trails or plant an image into your photograph. You can really download any image or pattern if you're really into it. Your imagination is really the limit with this tool. It's a bit pricey, but I find it to be super worthy. I told you, like, I use it all the time. Now, I also got some items in here that require some caution. As I'm sure most of you are aware, the Western US is in a crazy drought, and every summer wildfires eat up forests, homes, and lives. So anytime you're using something that can contribute to that, you have to be crazy careful. First, if ever you're planning on using anything that could start a fire, the first thing to do is check local regulations. You can't use fire techniques in national parks and most state parks. So check first, save yourself some trouble. Second, whenever these are in the plants, the first thing I pull out is this fire extinguisher. It's super important to me to maintain the beauty of the places I film. And obviously setting them on fire doesn't track with that goal. Safety first, folks. But if the conditions are right, some of the most interesting elements I have are smoke bombs. Adding the color and texture into the frame is just so cool. I also just got this little sparkler rod. I used to use a cigarette lighter to create sparks, but this works much better. Almost forgot. There are other things to be concerned about on night shoots. And one is a very obvious one, but is the risk of getting lost. Just like that. So I make sure to download a map of the area if we're going away from a road. And we use a compass tool as well on the cell phones. That works even if you don't have service. We also carry rain ponchos like this one, like hats and gloves, as well as some granola bars and plenty of water. One of my personal favorites is these hands and body warmers. Especially out in the desert, it can really turn chilly at night, and these little guys are critical for a summer lady like me. I also carry some pepper sprays, just in case. Often the places that worry me most are city parks and places that are close to beaten paths. And obviously our lights can attract attention, and I just don't want to be prepared if that attention isn't well-meaning. So I never had to use it, but I do feel safer with it in my pocket. Just about everything in the bag, except of course some little odds and ends like lens cleaners or lots of batteries. I do also put my trusty Leo photo ranger in the side pockets. It's light, very sturdy, and has a ball head which allows me to adjust the angle just exactly the way I want it. I do also have a second bag, which is the one that I usually carry. My devoted assistant gets to lug around the heavy stuff. In this bag goes my camera gear. I used a Canon when I first got started. It worked well enough. There just wasn't a big enough sensor to cope with all the different lights I was throwing at it, while working in the ISO ranges I need to use. Also, the colors on nighttime shots were not like phenomenal. So I decided to take a massive step up to this beast. Say hello to the Fuji GFX 100. This is a whale of a camera in several different ways. First off, it's the weight. It's over 3 pounds without the lenses. And considering the lenses, this can weigh up to 3 pounds. And it's quite a load. I got this 2-shoulder strap to save my neck. Show you guys. Being a medium format camera, you get a much bigger sensor with this one than the cropped or full frame sensors you get on most DSLRs. That gives me a ridiculous 100 megapixels that I can work with. I mean, I can do those big impressive prints that I want to do without having to worry about the quality. The amount of detail this thing picks up is wild. And with this, I could put my images on a billboard and they would still look sharp. Yes, it costs more than a used car, but now that I have it, I'm never going back. I'm sure at some point in the future I'll do more of a deep dive into the camera and also specific lenses I like to use, but this is what lives in the bag with other additional tools, so there you go. Let me know in the comments if you can think of anything else I really need to put in here. Or if you know if a bag that would work great for me. I'd love to see a discussion among my fellow light painters along those lines. For those of you who aren't into the light painting aspect of the journey as much as others, I'd just as always love to hear any reaction you have. Next week we'll be seeing some of this equipment in action as I bring you along with me on a photo shoot. I have really been looking forward to that. Then we'll shift gears and get back into the RV life side of things with a discussion of what sort of RV is right for me or not. If you haven't already, hit those buttons so you don't miss what's coming up. I do hope you got a better idea of the behind-the-scenes requirements of my art today, and I thank you so much for your attention. As always, I'm sending my love to you all, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.